Good evening and welcome to the Cronkite Sports Report. I'm Grace Johnson.
And I'm Jacob Brooks. Thank you all for joining us this evening. Dane Palmer will join us in just a little bit for some exciting racing news, but first, we've got to start with a major setback coming out of Diamondbacks camp.
Yeah, Jacob, he's their ace. He got the opening day nod, but now Merrill Kelly is a scratch to start the season. 2 weeks ago, the D-backs said the right-hander would get the opening day start for the first time in his career. Now, Kelly is dealing with some back issues. He hadn't thrown in 4 days before getting an MRI yesterday that showed no structural damage, but it did reveal some nerve irritation. Kelly is now pushed back to start the season.
That's an unfortunate thing. I've had a little bit of a conversation with Merrill on that. All he wants to do is get healthy. Of course, a little bit bummed about that honor, but most important thing is his health. And we feel like this is a situation where it's going to be trending in a very positive direction, and we're going to get him back out there as soon as possible.
Lovello did not mention any other name for opening day starter, but for now, Zach Gallen and Ryan Nelson are two of the more likely candidates.
Yeah, Grace, and in more important baseball news, the World Baseball Classic will kick off sooner than we think, beginning officially on March 5th.
Absolutely, Jacob. This is a fan favorite event that hasn't happened since the start of the 2023 season. But how are we going to watch these games? Well,
Grace, I'm glad you asked, because exciting news for Valley residents. If you can't make it to any of the official WBC games, that's okay, because here in Arizona, we get a special treat. Each MLB team will play one game against a WBC team March 3rd and March 4th in both the Cactus and Grapefruit Leagues. So exciting stuff going on.
Yeah, and another change to the majors this year. Automation has made its way into the game.
Yeah, new technology is reshaping the rules for America's pastime, but how exactly does it all work?
Well, lucky for us, our Antonio Gutierrez joins us here in the newsroom for an in-depth explanation of the automated ball strike challenge system.
Big changes are coming to Major League Baseball this season, and it starts at home plate. MLB is implementing an automated balls and strikes challenge system, or ABS. Here's the rulebook breakdown. First, and most importantly, this is not a replacement for umpires, as they still make the initial call on the field, and ABS is only used to challenge. Each team will only have 2 challenges per game, but if they win a challenge, they keep it. Only the batter, pitcher, or catcher can challenge, no coaches or other players. And challenges must be done immediately after the pitch, signaled by the player tapping the top of their hat or helmet. Coaches and players will have to handle that learning curve that comes with the new system.
With anything that's new, we have a responsibility to adapt to it, and we will. I don't quite have all the answers yet, how we're gonna, but we'll figure it out as we go.
All right, now let's take a look at the new system in action. So we'll see right here, called a ball on the field. Catcher does not agree at all, taps the top of his head. Instantly, the graphic comes up on the field, and it clips that corner perfectly and called a strike. And just like that, play is resumed and the call is overturned. And in spring 2025, each challenge took 14 seconds on average, so the game won't be getting too much longer. And the early word is that players and coaches are on board with ABS, making its way into the league. But the human factor of baseball is a big part of the game, and ABS has the ability to somewhat eliminate it, for the most part. Catchers framing pitches has been an art form in baseball forever. So how will the ABS system affect it? Who better to ask than a former catcher turned manager?
I don't think we're ever going to lose the art of framing. It's become too big a part of the game, and these catchers today are so good at it. And so we'll see how it affects it, but I don't think it's going to affect it a ton.
And as Jacob joins me up here, the addition of ABS comes to Major League Baseball amidst other professional leagues introducing new systems as well, marking a new age of technology in sports.
And Antonio, I want to go back to that point about the catchers. With that in mind, can you elaborate why so many players are still in favor of this change?
Yeah, players love this because it gives them some power. They have some power on the field on outcomes of the plays.
Yeah, and on the other side, I bet the managers are wondering, oh, I used to have the power when it comes to stuff like this. Now I don't, and maybe there aren't as many managers that are in favor of it, but only time will tell how it works out in the MLB. Antonio, we appreciate you coming in studio and providing your insight. Grace, we'll send it back over to you.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys. Now turning to the court, Dylan Brooks suffered a broken left hand last week and is set to miss considerable time. But for the first half of the season, the swingman was the spark the Suns needed. Our Andrew Neerman has more on the roller coaster ride that is Dylan Brooks.
The name Dylan Brooks is often followed by a whistle.
Technical foul's been assessed to Suns number 3, Dylan Brooks.
But to the fans, it's Dylan the Villain. The moniker gained so much traction that in late January, it was Dylan the Villain night, and on that night he dropped a career-high 40 points. Now, through his 50 games of the season, that mentality has spread to the players.
We don't want to be the good guys. We're trying to go out there and win. I mean, we got to be physical this night. We got to be the bad guys. We can be the bad guys. So.
He plays so hard. He expects you to play the same way, and if you're not, he's gonna cheat you out about it. But you know, that's a guy we love to have on our team.
Brooks is in the midst of his best year statistically, averaging a career-high 21 points a game. It includes a pregame ritual of staring down the other team.
Yeah, that's who he is, so it's not like a alter ego. Like, that's who he is, that's what he's brought.
But with the scoring, Dylan has also brought his foul troubles with him to the Valley. Brooks picked up his 16th technical foul and served a 1-game suspension.
He knows his technical situation. We've had plenty of sit-downs and talks. He also knows how important he is for us to be on the court.
But now, with a broken left hand, Brooks is expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks, and other guys will have to step up to help this team keep its edge. In Phoenix, Andrew Neeram, Cronkite News.
Brooks underwent successful surgery on Monday to repair the fracture in his left hand.
Yeah, Grace, and in other Suns news, they host the LA Lakers tonight at the Mortgage Matchup Center. Moving on to more hoops, ASU women's basketball hosted the BYU Cougars last night for senior night and the final home game of the first year of the Molly Miller era.
Yeah, and coming off a 25-point victory last Saturday, the Sun Devils look to get a win to help their chances for an NCAA bid. Emotions were high in Desert Financial Arena as over 6,700 fans were in attendance. The game consisted of big scoring runs for both sides as each team held a double-digit leads throughout the game. Unfortunately, the Sun Devils couldn't get the crucial one, but junior forward McKenna Bracken showcased what it means to take pride in this program.
The community that there is here is just insane. Like when I first got here, I was like, wow, like this is like a real college town. And just like how hard they go behind the Sun Devils, like that's just, I love that, and I love my coach. I love all the coaches here. Just
Coming up next, both the U.S. hockey and figure skating teams brought home gold at this year's Winter Olympics.
Yeah, sparking fan interest across the valley.
Probably the best game that anyone's ever going to see for the next 4 years or until the next best on best.
A look at how the success is impacting teams across Arizona coming up on Cronkite News.
Plus, a look at weather around the globe for the upcoming World Baseball Classic.
As a teacher, you just want to reach people. You want to make a difference. You want to help them. I have an opportunity to do something I never imagined I would be able to do. Go out and build the best biology class the world has ever seen. When you go into Dreamscape Learn, you put on a set of goggles and you can go anywhere. You can be anyone and do anything. The thing about Arizona State University is they're always thinking about what's next. We can create virtual reality experiences so that you can learn by exploring in a virtual world the way that scientists explore in the real world. And kids can feel that. All these emotions are what help the brain encode information. When I see a student come out of VR, the look on their face is nothing like I've ever seen when I finish a lecture. They look so happy to be there in that moment. You know that you've reached them.
Welcome back. And Jacob, as we know, this year's Winter Olympics were held in Italy.
Yeah, Grace, and Italy may seem a long ways away from here in downtown Phoenix, but for one University of Arizona athlete, the 2026 Olympic Games put them right back at home.
We had the Olympics also in Turin in 2006. So that the fact that it came back to Italy and it came in my city, it's awesome.
The Winter Games also took place during Black History Month, and one gold medal winner was breaking barriers all the way back in 2023.
Yeah, Grace, a female hockey player from Cleveland, Ohio, Layla Edwards, became the first black woman to play for the U.S. women's national hockey team 3 years ago.
I'm great that I can hopefully be that role model for the next one right after me and then after her, and I just hope that this barrier break allows like an overflow kind of thing.
Edwards most recently played for Team USA women's hockey in Milan, earning herself a gold medal. This adds to her gold and silver medals from her 2 appearances in the Women's Hockey World Championships.
I would say, like, I understand it can be a little discouraging, like not to see many people look like you, but I'm hoping that I inspire the next, young woman of color that, well, she's there, so it is reachable and it is possible.
Well, the 2026 Winter Olympics are officially over, so let's take a quick look at Team USA's final overall medal count.
Yeah, Team USA finished 2nd overall with 33 medals, 12 gold, 12 silver, and 9 bronze. This is the most gold medals that Team USA has ever won in the Winter Olympic Games, and the previous record was 10 gold medals set in the 2002 Salt Lake City Winter Olympics.
The Scottsdale Ice Den is still celebrating all of that Olympic gold, as some of Team USA's players actually have Arizona roots.
Yeah, and those players have taken advantage of the facilities that the desert has to offer here.
This year, the United States brought home Olympic gold across the rink in hockey and figure skating, creating a surge of interest in these sports here in the Valley.
With the success the U.S. had, women's hockey, men's hockey, and figure skating, we anticipate that our numbers are just going to go through the roof through the remainder of the year and into next year.
Spirits were flying high for the Junior Coyotes at the Ice Den in Scottsdale after watching the U.S. men's hockey team win gold in overtime.
I think it was probably the best game that anyone's ever going to see for the next 4 years or until the next best on best event.
I felt really inspired about how our team took down all the other teams. I think it was good, and it was cool to see everyone go crazy.
Hundreds of hockey fans showed up to 18 Degrees Bar and Grill located inside the Ice Den to watch the Olympic finals.
I'd like to think we have the most knowledgeable hockey crowd in the Valley because I have 3 ice rinks right behind me. And this is the home of the captain of the gold medal team, Austin Matthews. And the atmosphere overall was extremely intense, nerve-wracking. And then finally, towards the end, everybody got very loud, and it was quite joyful.
While professional hockey may have left the Valley, moments like these are still bringing the hockey community together here in the Valley.
Just throughout the day in the building, I've never felt anything like it. I could hear kids getting ready for their practices, and they were chanting USA and playing Freebird, and it was just throughout the whole day. It just carried from 5:30 in the morning on till I left.
Heroics at the ice rinks in Milan were able to inspire the next generation of hockey players and bring the community together. In Scottsdale, Farah Bojalid, Cronkite News.
Thanks so much, Farah. Wondering about this warm weather, though?
Yeah, I have been. It's been really hot lately, so our Matthew Pierce joins us from the Cronkite Weather Center with our official forecast.
Thank you, guys. Things are certainly not only heating up here in the Valley, but also in baseball, with more of that to come in a little bit. But first, let's go ahead and take a look at the historical highs we've been seeing here in the Valley. Taking a look at the last couple of years, 22, 23, we're hovering around 70 degrees, 25, 26, we're upwards of 80. And this is what has been allowing the weather to flirt with record highs during the month of February, and also has given nice baseball weather as spring training has gotten going. Now, speaking of baseball, the World Baseball Classic is getting underway here in the next week or so. Next Thursday they start. Now let's take a look in Houston. They got the retractable roof out there, high around 80, so make sure if you're going, you might want your sunglasses in case that roof is open. And taking a trip to Florida, we got the same deal going on here. Highs hovering around 80s, another retractable roof. Obviously, they got more humidity, so you might want a nice dry fit shirt and some shorts. Now let's take a look at Puerto Rico, the open stadium. You guys might see some rain on opening day. It's certainly possible, and it's going to be the hottest stadium for opening day, around 85 degrees. Now, If we take a long journey overseas, we're in Tokyo where they got the dome, colder weather for sure. So when you're outside of the game, you're going to make sure you want to grab a jacket. But while you're inside, it should be nice baseball weather. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the evening planner for tonight. Taking a look, we're going to start at 80 around 6 p.m. and get as low as 68 around 10 p.m. So you might not even need a jacket when you're heading out later tonight. And that brings me to the 8-day forecast. Taking a look tomorrow, 84. And we're going to see a big jump, though, on Saturday. So make sure you get your athletic wear ready and some sweaty weather there on Saturday. And then when we go into March, taking a look as we progress through March, we're going to 78 later next week with lows getting under 60 degrees. Now from the Weather Center, I'm Matthew Pierce.
Coming up next, Cronkite News' Dane Palmer sits down with two very special guests.
Yeah, Grace, Ron Capps and Maddi Gordon from the NHRA join us to talk about their upcoming season.
But really when you get to that 400-foot mark is when it gets gnarly.
Find out how Maddi Gordon feels about her upcoming races and Ron Capps' crash coming up on Cronkite News.
As a teacher, you just want to reach people. You want to make a difference. You want to help them. I have an opportunity to do something I never imagined I would be able to do. Go out and build the best biology class the world has ever seen. When you go into Dreamscape Learn, you put on a set of goggles and you can go anywhere. You can be anyone and do anything. The thing about Arizona State University is they're always thinking about what's next. We can create virtual reality experiences so that you can learn by exploring in a virtual world the way that scientists explore in the real world. And kids can feel that. All these emotions are what help the brain encode information. When I see a student come out of VR, the look on their face is nothing like I've ever seen when I finish a lecture. They look so happy to be there in that moment. You know that you've reached them.
Welcome back to the Cronkite Sports Report. My name is Dane Palmer here with some NHRA drivers, the legendary Ron Capps, up-and-coming star Maddi Gordon. Guys, race coming back here in March. You guys gotten the chance to check out the track at all? How's it been so far?
Track's always good.
Always.
It's one of the best on the circuit. She's just starting out, got her license upgraded, so it'll be the first top fuel race for her. But this is notorious for being one of the record-setting tracks. We never worry about, it's always great weather, it always sells out, so we always look forward to it, and she's got a lot to look forward to.
Definitely, yeah. No, it's been a really good track for me and my previous race cars. I was actually here 3 days ago. My dad was racing at a regional event, lost in the final, but again, yeah, great racetrack, really good facility, great people. The fans are always awesome, so really looking forward to coming out here in a month. And that'll be my second ever national event as a pro driver, so I'm really stoked.
Wow, it's amazing. And Ron, you've had a legendary career. We'll start with you, and I want to get into that, but we've got the next generation right here. Maddi's stepping up. What made her the right choice for you and your team, and what made her so special to make you say, yeah, that's
First of all, legendary, that word means old, I think. And I probably am the only one in this room that actually saw Cronkite when I was a kid live before we had more than 3 channels in our house. So I am old. But yeah, I grew up in a sport. I grew up the same way she did. She's very mechanical. She worked on her mom and dad's race car. Her and her sister built it. She can weld. And it just took me back to where I was and why I got hired and how I got hired by the owner that saw something in me. And we did it backwards. Instead of like a lot of sports where somebody brings $1 million for a ride in F1 or NASCAR, we built a team around her. I went out and found the funding with Carlisle Tools and Napa Auto Parts, and we built the whole team around her. So it's been something kind of fun for me as a team owner. This is my 4th year as a team owner, so again, I'm old. So. But yeah, we're just, I'm so excited to watching her standing behind the car, and I can't wait for her to get out here and the fans, the more they watch her and the more they see what she's all about, how much more they'll be attracted to her.
Well, Maddi, you're 21 years old, like we were saying, top fuel license, made some passes already. You're accomplished so many things, 100th woman to win a national event. What's it been like finding success so early on in your career?
You know, it's been an honor, to say the least. I love the sport. I love everything about it. I went to my first race at 8 days old. I started driving when I was 8 years old. I love the sport. I love the people. I love driving. I love the race cars, the mechanics of it. I love being in the shop. Just everything about this sport it's what I live for. And up to this point, it's been a hobby of ours, something we do for fun. I mean, it's basically our life, but we call it a hobby, right? Because we had, you know, a job on the side. But, you know, for this to become my profession and literally my whole life is something that I never thought I could achieve. I really never did, especially at my age. But with Ron Capps and Carlisle Tools, they made what seemed like an impossible thing reality. And I'm just so looking forward to it. It's the opportunity of a lifetime. And I got my license upgraded just last week. Went 325 miles an hour, which is insane. You know, and it's hard to believe that's reality for me, but I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a really good year.
Yeah, well, by far, fastest sport I think anyone has ever seen. Comes with a little bit of that danger, though. Had kind of a crazy crash last year here. Walk me through what that was like, being able to walk away and then getting back in the driver's seat after that.
Done your homework, man. Yeah, it was a gnarly crash. But yeah, I knew in a career that it's gonna happen. Just a matter of when. So, you know, again, can't wait to come back here. Can't wait to. Dreams are possible. You're seeing it right now. And of course, NHRA, every ticket's a pit pass. So anybody that comes out can get right in the action. And we're looking forward to it.
Well, Maddi, quick, tell me what it's like doing 300 plus. I mean, you got people like me that just follow the speed limit around here, right? And so what is that feeling like going 300, the G's coming off the line? What's it like?
It is insane. You know, the G's coming off the line are massive. They're similar compared to the other car I was in, still insane. But really when you get to that like 400-foot mark is when it gets gnarly, because the engine RPM drops and then the clutch locks up and this thing just takes off. I mean, it's pulling like 6 to 7 Gs and it literally feels like there's like an elephant on your chest. It just, like, oh my gosh, it's gnarly, gnarly.
Well, all right, thank you guys so much for your time. We really appreciate you being here again. Ron Capps, Maddi Gordon, we'll be keeping up with you guys on how the season goes. We'll be back after a quick break, but don't go anywhere. We've got more for you on the Cronkite Sports Report.
This is where Cronkite can be creative.
You meet so many new people who are on different communities, and when you do that, you're able to network not only, but also get to engage, talk to people, and make life friends.
I think that definitely surprised me, the community that I would find, because I wasn't really expecting it. I was
freedom.
Friendly. Nice. I'd say cozy.
As a teacher, you just want to reach people. You want to make a difference. You want to help them. I have an opportunity to do something I never imagined I would be able to do. Go out and build the best biology class the world has ever seen. When you go into Dreamscape Learn, you put on a set of goggles and you can go anywhere. You can be anyone and do anything. The thing about Arizona State University is they're always thinking about what's next. We can create virtual reality experiences so that you can learn by exploring in a virtual world the way that scientists explore in the real world. And kids can feel that. All these emotions are what help the brain encode information. When I see a student come out of VR, the look on their face is nothing like I've ever seen when I finish a lecture. They look so happy to be there. In that moment, you know that you've reached them.
Welcome back. One sports card collector who also stars in his own television show struck gold during his most recent season.
Yeah, Ken Golden came across a rare Honus Wagner baseball card, and it just sold at auction for an extraordinary amount of money.
A piece of history just sold at auction for big bucks. This T206 Honus Wagner card dates back to 1909 when its original owner pulled it from a cigarette pack. The legendary shortstop played 21 seasons across the late 1800s, early 1900s, mostly for the Pittsburgh Pirates. The auction house says the rare card remained among the same family for 117 years until going up for auction, selling for more than $5 million.
How cool is that?
Yeah, Grace, I wish I had that kind of money or a card that cool.
Yeah, me too. Well, that's it for tonight's edition of our Cronkite Sports Report. I'm Grace Johnson.
And I'm Jacob Brooks. Thank you all for joining us.
And to see top Arizona stories anytime, log on to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.